Good morning and welcome to the African Youth Conference 2020 Communique and Action Items Drafting Session. This is the conference we are held all through December on the theme, the African Leadership Question, Problems and Prospects. Today, we are meeting in a special session of this conference where we will consider all the thoughts that have been shared and then bring them together. It has been an exciting and stimulating meeting being with the rising generations of Africa in that virtual African Youth Conference this last 4 weeks in December 2020. My expectations that we have enough intellectually prepared and conscious African rising generation to take over leadership in the African continent. They'll be able to help return the continent on the path of development that we dreamed of, the one that we had dreamed and expressed by our colonial era freedom fighters have been met. We have frankly identified the problems with Africa and the mind-boggling and unacceptable betrayal of Africa and Africans by the people who are holding and controlling political power in Africa. The rising generations clearly showed perfect understanding of the problems and the sources of these problems. The rising generations of Africa who spoke at the conference and those who shared their comments and asked questions during the proceedings of the conference have identified the solutions and strategies for solving the problems. These solutions and strategies would form the communique and action items on the way forward for the African youth. I hereby invite you to bring forward your points of the communique and action items on the way forward in a 2-minute speech for all those who are attending this conference. Kayode Olusegun Fadare, who is acting as scribe for this session of the conference, would take notes of these proceedings and the points you are making, and then he will generate our source document, which we will use for the future. We also invite you to post your comments, the points that you are making to contribute to the communique drafting meeting. Put them on the private chat session or on the comment section so that we will be able to pull them up in due course, that we may make the way forward that we have always desired. We have a number of people viewing and already liking this session, and we are grateful. We welcome you to join, even if you cannot join inside the studio, to join by making comments, asking questions, and also introducing your own contributions to the communique. This communique will represent action items that the rising generations of Africa will take up and pursue in the coming decade. 2021 to 2030 is a time when we must establish our foot on what is going on in Africa with a view to changing the narrative that we have on our hands now. Thank you very much for coming and welcome with me to this conference. It will now be my privilege to pull up all those who are available in these studios to make their contributions for the whole of Africa to see. We have Joanne Alugwenwa from Uganda, and we also have Kayode Fadare from Nigeria. Okay, Joanne, are you ready to make your comments?
I'm ready.
Okay, can you come up on video?
Hello.
Yes, can you activate your video? Oh, okay. Okay, so can we have you on video? I think Joanne is having quite some issues there. Let's invite. Okay, Joanne, you're back. I hope you're
Yeah, I'm back.
okay. Thank you. Can you begin to make your comments?
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, go ahead. We hear you.
Am I heard by to make my summary of what we presented in the last conference? I've summarized 4 points. Among the challenges, we had challenge. Maybe I can give some brief about we had with the challenges of leadership in Africa. I had challenge number one as challenges of the dependency, corruption, underdeveloped infrastructures and production sectors, leadership and governance are some of the impediments. And one of the solutions were learning from other African and the globe experience, collective intelligence. Then the last one was to focus on management and implementation systems. Since it is not sufficient to develop a vision or strategy, good leadership ensures that the strategic and operational plans are developed. Yeah, that is the brief summary I can give for now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joanne. We appreciate that.
Camera.
Yes. Yes, we can see you on camera. It's okay. We can see you. So it will now be our privilege to invite Amos Eligu Adiku to make his contributions. Amos? Amos? Amos, you have the floor.
May I ask something, please?
Yes, Joanne.
Yeah, I remember you noted somewhere that we should write our communique in the chat bar, but I really don't know how to post that.
Oh, okay. And I'm sure that's because you are using a phone. If you are using a
Yeah, I'm
computer, it
using
would
a
have been a lot easier. Okay, so
phone.
you can send that as SMS to me or
Oh,
to Kayode, any of us. Once you send that on WhatsApp to us, and then we will
okay, please.
incorporate it. Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
please. I will.
All right,
Okay.
you're welcome. Okay, Amos, you have the floor now. Amos, you have the floor. Okay, Amos says it's in transit, and that could be posing quite some problems. But can you speak? Okay. Amos is in transit. I might have issues speaking right there.
Yeah, I'm done
Um,
presenting.
yes,
Why
Joanne, you are done presenting, and if you have other things, because I can notice that you are in a salon or something. So if you have some other thing you want to do, maybe you can focus on that. Thank you very much. We appreciate your presence. We'll be looking forward to the text on WhatsApp. Okay. Okay. While we are grappling with that, we're expecting Kayode Fadare to come back up so that he will be able to make his own presentation. But while waiting for that, we have seen many people during this session, which we consider very important. You can make your contributions by leaving a comment on the chat bar. And Amos is in transit because this meeting ends at uh, 10:45. You can send us your this thing in transit. You can type your comments on the chat bar, either as a comment or in the private message, and we will pull it up and make sure it's included. So Amos can do that for us, just in case he's not able to finish transiting before the session is over. Now, some of the things that have come out clearly in this conference throughout the period it lasted is one, the rising nations of Africa should no longer sit down. They have to take steps, they have to take action. They can no longer continue in the former ways of keeping quiet. They just have to speak at this time. So these have become very necessary. So, Kayode, you're back. Do you have your points? Do you have your own points? Do you want to state them right now before we invite someone else up?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Kayode, can you go ahead?
Okay.
Okay, I think we are struggling. We are still struggling to have Kayode come clear.
Well, okay.
Okay.
The point I would like to make, over the period of the conference, people have shared different insight on what can be done to uh, improve the level of participation by the youth in the political realm of Africa. Looking at Nigeria, for example, we have various sectors.
Oh, okay. Let's invite Chukudi Onyekwere to the stream so that he can make his contribution. Yes, Chukudi, you have the floor now. Chukudi, you have the floor.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning all. It's quite I'm very privileged to be here today. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm very privileged to be here today. We have been discussing so many people have said so many things about how we can improve the problems that we are facing in Africa today, as from leadership and how we can improve our life in Africa. And so many people have raised their own concerns. Some people have pointed out the issues, and they have also pointed out the way way forward for us to go. I also mentioned things that we need to do. Yes, we know that in Africa we have leadership problem, and we have been able to identify them. It's now left for us to put those things in place, those things that we have communicated that we need to do to put it in place so that we can get a better Africa that we want.
Okay. So the purpose of the meeting today is to bring out, to marshal out your own contributions towards the solution to the problem, which will become communique and action item on the way forward.
Okay. Now, my own suggestion for us to get it right in Africa, man, fight that no ethical mindset. For instance, we don't need to fight corruption or because that this person is corrupt. That this interview is corrupt because of his the person have relationship with you or is from your place and you try not to fight what he's doing that you know that is not right. For us to get this right in Africa, we need to start now to fight corruption without no ethical requirement on it. And another thing that we need to do, fight corruption is one of the problems that is hitting Africa very much. It's not that Africa is not corrupt, but we individuals are corrupt. In as much as we need get it right. We need to find those individuals that are not corrupt, and we have to sacrifice so many things for our continent, Africa, so that we can get what we want. We should leave all these selfish desires. If we as individuals, these selfish desires, we can get it right in Africa. Another thing that we need to do, we need to carry everybody along, both the women, the minority, or even the people that we say they are poor. We need to carry them along. We should not impoverish people. For us to get it right in Africa, leaders need to come, let people, let's have an average people. Let Africa have average people that are worthy. Not that when they come to a census, we find out we have more poor people in Africa than in any other place. So if we want to get it right, our leader need to come up, bring some plans, bring some strategies where you elevate some people from where they are today, so that we will not have more, poor people in Africa. Another thing that we also need to do, we need to carry women along. You find out in Africa today, you have issue of we have lesser women participating in politics because of the way the politics is being designed. I was told that if you want to do politics, you need to be attending meeting by 12 a.m. till 4 a.m. And some of the women, they are at home helping their children or do one thing or the other. They will not be able to do this. Some of them will not be able to do those things at that particular. And another thing that we need to do, we that are trying to take over on the youth, we don't need to lose hope. We don't need to, because of we have tried once and we fail, not to try again.
Okay.
So many times, but we make it. So we should not lose hope. We should continue trying until we get it right. We should not stop speaking. We should not, because of we have one setback today, we decide to go back. We should always try as much as possible to continue to say it, no matter what. We will continue to say it. You know, our position will be more than to effort. But it's not because of the opposition we decide to back. Forward ahead. How we can get it right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chukudi, and that is very helpful. I hope Kayode is really taking notes so that we can. The other thing we need to do is that the points you have made, we would like you to send it as a WhatsApp message to me or to the African Youth Conference group on WhatsApp. It will now be my privilege to bring George Blue Kelly up to come and share his thoughts. Before he comes up, I would like Amos to mute his mic since he's in a public place. Amos, could you mute your mic? Mute your mic, Amos. Thank you. Um, Amos, please mute your mic. Okay, we need to knock Amos out because his mic is creating some issues there. All right, George, you have the floor now. Could you please go ahead?
Thank you, Mr. Francis.
And maybe before George starts, we have seen many people viewing. We need your comments. We need you to contribute to this communique, the way forward. That's what we are talking about. And we are, as Odumegwu Ojukwu will say, we are all involved. No one person can do this thing. All of us must be involved in it. So please, you are in the viewing, make your comment, make a question, contribute to this communique and way forward action drafting committee meeting. We need your comment. All right, George, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. Hi, Kayode, Chukudi. I send greetings from this side. I'm so excited to be here again. The last time we had this conversation, it was really elating because I shared some thoughts and ideas about what I think. In fact, I think I was trying to direct my message the last time to those individuals who have that political aspiration to become, to take leadership role, because I talked about what it takes to be a president of a nation. I mean, we have to understand that to be a president, like the office of the president is the highest office of the nation. It is the highest office. So if we are going to put someone up there, then we need to make sure they tick certain criteria. You understand? So I think the last time I tried to highlight certain areas that I feel someone who is aspiring to be a leader should make sure they tick those boxes. I talked about one. Not only should they have that ambition, because I see many Nigerians, and on this platform we talk about trying to inspire people to take on the role, take on more responsibility. But what I see most times is they have the ambition, but they don't have the intellectual know-how. They don't have the intellectual capacity to play that role. So I stress on the fact that they should focus on gaining that knowledge. They should focus on growing themselves, acquiring the necessary skills that is needed. So I also talked about what it takes to be a leader, what it takes to be a president, what it takes to run a country. And I think I rounded it up with saying that, for example, Nigeria as a country, if we want to restructure that country, we need to look at certain areas. First, talk about policy, the right policy that really exists, not policy that exists only on paper, or policies that exist just for certain benefits for those in powers. They've also talked about education, that we need to be educated. Our education needs to be restructured. The way we train youth need to be changed. In fact, personally, I think the education sector in Nigeria is flawed. It's greatly flawed. They are not producing crops of students who are up to par. I mean, this is the 21st century, and we see Nigerian university producing graduates who don't even know what is happening on the world stage. They don't even have the intellectual capacity to lift themselves from being unemployed. I mean, I follow a lot of US entrepreneurs, and what I'm noticing is that there's a new trend of people that once they are getting out of school, even when they are in school, they're already working online, and they are becoming entrepreneurs. They are investing in Bitcoin. They are investing in cryptocurrencies. They are doing Amazon drop shipping. They are doing so many things. The same thing goes with China. But our schools. They are producing students who, when they finish school, all they do is go and buy maybe some weave-on or some cloth, and they post it on their WhatsApp profile. And I think that is backward, because the internet is there for us to exploit. You can have an online shop. You can run Facebook ads. There are so many opportunities there. But if we are raising crops of people who are not thinking that way, it means that our education is flawed. And it's flawed not just in the sense that what they are teaching is not right. It's flawed in the sense that they are not even teaching people how to think. Because education is not just having a BSc in computer science. It is the way you think, because I think the best education is not just to give someone the answer, but rather to teach them how to think. So that in itself, I think our education needs to be restructured right from the elementary level down to the tertiary level. Also, I also talked about if the key area we need to restructure our economy is the area of security, the area of enactment of law, that people should be held accountable. Chukwudi talked about how we can bring in women into the political sphere. Well, the truth is, women don't feel secure. They don't feel that anyone is the people out there are there for their good. They don't feel secure, so they can't go into a space where it is saturated with political bottlenecks. You understand? So all these are the things that I shed some light on the other time, and I hope we can have time to discuss some since we are all here now.
Okay, thank you. That is very helpful. We appreciate every bit of these contributions, and I hope Kayode Fadare is taking notes. We will also expect you to organize this in a WhatsApp message and then send it to the either the African Youth Conference WhatsApp group or to me or to Kayode, Fadare, any of us. We will need to use those to continue to further the work. We appreciate every bit of that. Okay. It will now be my privilege to invite Chocho Gadus Kitimfe from Cameroon. Uh, uh, Mr. Timfe is the president of African Youth's Opinion, and he has been a very big backbone to this conference. So, Mr. Timfe, will you please share with us in your own 2 minute speech thoughts on what should be inside the communique and the way forward, the action items on the way forward. Mr. Timfe.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, dear friends. Good morning, panelists. Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Well, I think for the past days, we have been hammering hard on the issue affecting African leadership and the way forward. I made it very clear last time that leadership is all about stewardship. You serve the people, not being a demigod to the people. And if we look at the problems affecting African leadership, we'll look at dictatorship. Dictatorship in Africa, sit-tight president who have taken the presidency to be their home affair, to be their family properties. This is one of the issues that is affecting African leadership. So, and how can we solve this problem of sit-tight president? I think that we need powerful institutions, not powerful men. We need to put institutions in place that will check on this president when they come in. They should lift power when it comes to the lift power. They should not change a constitution to suit them, because many presidents at times they get to power and they change a constitution to favor them. Like, I'm speaking from Cameroon. I believe you know His Excellency President Paul Biya. He has been there for more than 32 years. And what has he done for his country? Nothing. The country has been experiencing economic recession ever since he took from power. So I think that it's time for African to set up a constitution that will protect the common man on the street, not those on power. And the second issue affecting African leadership is blurred vision, lack of vision. Many African leaders, they don't have that vision. For there's this saying that my people perish because of lack of knowledge, because they don't have vision. When you plan to fail, you are when you don't plan, you are planning to fail. You see, the Chinese have prepared their economies for the next 100 years. They know that their youth will become millionaires, billionaires. But we Africans, we have not even prepared for the next 50 years. So our leaders don't have vision. So the African leaders, they should give way, they should give space for the African youth to come up with the new ideas. Because we, the youth, we're having new ideas that can best be solutions to African problems. But our leaders are there that are old enough. An African leader, 85 years, 65 years, 100 years, like the president of my of the upper house of parliament in my country. That's His Excellency Maxey Efenji, the Senate. He is not less than 90 years old, roughly 96 years, and he is the president. Can he reach for up to? So I think that it is time for African leaders to give way to youthful generation to better handle the problems affecting African leadership. Thank you very much. I think my 2 minutes over.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is helpful. Now, Abdul from Uganda said they have been trying to get in and have failed. I don't know why that is. What I want to do now is that let me put back the invitation on our comment this in here. Hopefully, he will be able to pick that invitation and be able to join us. Hopefully, he will be. But one of the things that is clear here is that we we cannot leave things the way they are. That is just what is on my mind. We can't leave things the way they are. Things have got just to change. So, Abdul, I have just left a link on the comment bar, chat bar. Try and click on it again and see if you'll be able to come in. And that is good. So, thank you. Now, all the people who are around here, do you have one more word to add before we begin working towards summarizing what we think we have gotten today, and hopefully someone else will be able to come inside? Yeah, Chukwudi. Okay.
Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
Chukwudi. Go ahead,
Yes, I guess all of us need to put our shoulder to the wheel. It's not time we leave this thing for people. We need to come out from our shells and take this thing to whatever we need. No, we don't need to be saying it. We need to work it out. We don't need to sit down waiting for these people to do it for us. They can never do it for you. You come out and take what you want. Understand? I was listening to McPherson. He was saying that if a hungry man is hungry and you haven't been and he's asking you to give him one star and you don't want to give him, he will use every means he has to take it from you. That's what we need to do now. We need to use every means. If we are waiting for these people, Africa will be like that, and the continent will be like that. So we need to come out now. It's not only saying it. We have to do something. We need to put our shit out the way. Let's move. Let's push it along. We don't need to wait for them. Time is going. This is 21st century. We don't know how the other century will be. This is the time for us to wake up with the answers in Nigeria that happen in Nigeria. I hope it will happen in another place. A parent staying for 32 years. Come on. What is he doing there? That 2 years, the country is still the way it is. A parent is staying for 39 years. What is he doing there? And the country is still the way it is. What is he doing there? And is it that there are no people again there to lead the country? Or that, as in, no, only him is the person in the country? People need to wake up now. People need to stay. We need to stand for the truth. It's not time we just stay one place and allow someone to lead us the way they like. They will just plan anything they want in their parlor or in their bedroom and come out and tell the whole public a country with 11 million people, 30 million people, and one person will be telling you, and people just looking at some. Let's wake up. This is time for us to wake up. This is time for us to get it right. I will not be happy that I have a country or a continent. I will find it difficult to get a job after graduating from school. Even when I have the masters or when I have the PhD, it will be very difficult for me to get a job in a country I call my own. It's supposed to be easier as soon as you finish school. At least it's supposed to be easier at least to get a job that you can feed your family until you have something you will be doing for yourself. But here in Africa, it's a very big and that story altogether in another day. But this is time for us to do something right. We have a very big youth in Africa that we can change things right. This is time for us to do. So let everybody put the shoulder to the wheel so we can get this Africa right. That's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you. And as all of you spoke, one thing was very clear in my mind about how things work. And that thing is this: um, nobody will give you power; you have to take it. It is not. I don't believe and do not accept the standard and principle of taking power by the gun. In fact, I hate anything that had to do with military rule anywhere in the world. The military rule is a no-go area for me. But there's what is called popular sovereignty, and that is the actual sovereignty belongs to the people. And then the demographics of Africa, demographics here, talking about the different ages of people and different situations of people that make up the population in Africa. Age element of the demographics in Africa says that 60% of Africa is the youth. The youth is 60%. In other words, the youth are effectively majority everywhere on the African continent. In Nigeria, to be specific, the current electoral voters list shows that 60% of those registered are youth. Now, the challenge now is how do these people take power? Knowing the principle of getting power, you have to really take the power. Now, these people need unity among themselves. And one of the things we should be working on will be how to get these youths united in such a way that they can say, hey, the future belongs to us. we are the ones who are going to live in the result of all the evil that is being done today. And then knowing that we are the ones who will suffer the impact, the consequences of the nonsense done today by our so-called rulers, then we need to get involved in ruling today, in leading today. So the African rising generation need to settle this in their mind that they have work to do. Now, fear, we learned during the conference, fear of dying is the problem. But one of our speakers was clear on this. If you fear and you don't speak, you die. You speak, you die. Is it not better that you speak and die standing than dying like a chicken, Christmas chicken? You have no choice that in what is happening. So I think all of those things are things that the rising generations of Africa need to take away. Some other thing that stood out in the conference that I'd like to point out here, which I think should make the communique and way forward, is the fact that do they call it the parable or what of the broom? If you get a bunch of a broom and attempt to break it, it is known to be an impossible task. But if you pull out a broomstick, you don't even need two hands to break it. One finger, you snap it and it will break. Now, using this analogy, and somebody said it in the conference. It is not me that said it. It's one of us that said it in the conference. He said, the people of Africa, the rising generations of Africa, should... Okay, I'm having vibrations. Can you mute your
somebody said it in the conference. It's not me that said it. It's one of us that said it in the conference. He said, the people of Africa,
Solomon, mute yourself. Okay, so now he said the best thing we will do to be able to deal with what is going on is to find a way to the whole African youth to rise. Let's say there's an issue in Cameroon and the youth are leading it. Then the rest of Africa should come out and join them. Luckily, with the power of technology, we can participate in any protest. We can participate in any movement on any sport in Africa because of the power of technology. So African youth need to learn that going together will achieve them more and keep their strength, while going single, each country rising, it will be easy for Paul Biya in Cameroon to order soldiers to shoot everybody who is in front of him or demanding that things change in Cameroon. The same with Nigeria. But what if the rest of Africa joins that conference virtually and by all means, even demonstrating in their own country in support of the one going on in Nigeria and other places? We have clearly been taught that this will help matters to be a lot better for each and every one of us than otherwise. So we need to be looking at that. Now we have Oseagah Solomon join us. Solomon, can you make your contribution quickly so that we need to summarize at this time? Solomon, your contribution to the communique and action items. Solomon, unmute yourself and make your contribution. Can Solomon unmute himself? And Abdul from Uganda, if you can give us your video so we can invite you. Okay. Okay, Abdul is right. Solomon, please unmute yourself. Okay, Abdul, take the floor. Welcome. We are glad to have you finally.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Francis, and I'm glad to see everyone, and I'm happy that you're there. Now, my argument at first was the problems currently facing Africa are not the same problems that are facing the rest of the world. So the problems we have now have a singular cause, and that is Western intervention, which started a long time ago. So there is no government that is not at a check. There is no African government currently that is not at a check by the Western nations. Yes. And as I had earlier said, the only way we can eliminate this is first of all uniting Africa as one. We have to take it as one, and then we have to adopt a similar language. Yes, as I had earlier said, languages, we have so many languages in Africa that can be adopted, that are widely spoken. I mentioned of Hausa, Igbo, there's Kiswahili here in East Africa, there's Nmeribe in Ethiopia. Those are very good languages can be adopted. And then increasing the involvement of youths in leadership. Everyone has been talking about this. I think it's self-explanatory. And then if you could devise a mechanism of decreasing the dependence on foreign aid, whatever name it comes in, it can come in Chinese loans, US aid, UK aid. All those are very dangerous to Africa because they give you the money.
Abdul was going on a very powerful presentation there, and then this thing went off, which is part of the problem we are facing in Africa. We can't even guarantee data. in America, when you visit someone's home, they'll ask you, do you need data? I use unlimited data plan, but it's so expensive. And then if he finishes, I'll need to start browsing at a slow speed. So if you even come to my house, I don't think I'm going to offer you data because I'm afraid it will finish fast.
That's Africa for us now.
Exactly. But I visit a home in the US or in the UK and I say, hey, do you need data? Because it is there in abundance. We can't even ordinary conference online.
In Nigeria, everything is broken. Everything is broken. Every sector of the country is broken, and it's sad.
It is. It is. Okay. Abdul. Okay. His listening is still pulling through. I need to see if he can pull through in a minute so he can summarize. When he finishes his contribution, that will be all we can take now. What we want each person to do, both those who are viewing who are not in the studio and those in the studio, please articulate what you think is the action point, your action steps, and send it to the WhatsApp group or to Kayode or to myself. When you're able to do that, we will be able to fashion out this and then republish it, possibly hold future meetings explaining everything so that each person will now know what they need to do. Solomon, you are up. Can you hear me? Hello, Solomon. Okay, I think it is still that same issue that we are saying. We need to wrap up at this time. I would like to express gratitude to everyone who have been to this session. I'm excited that we're able to do this. Whatever you see here today, it is part of the struggle. All the disconnections and reconnections and challenges, they are all part of the problem. That's what we are facing. That's what we need to solve. That's the calling that we have to deal with the situation that we have in Africa right now. So we will need to conclude. Abdul is able to be back. Abdul, in 1 minute, can you just tidy up what you were saying so we can use it, because we need to close at this time.
Okay, thank you so much. I may not even need that 1 minute. I was left with something small, and that was we need to stop the reliance on Western democracy. The parties, I think, this puts us in some kind of slavery. You cannot, you cannot speak bad about your political party. It's very, otherwise you get problems. Yes, this part has employed my father, my grandfather. So we need to resist that. And then we should view religion in a different perspective. As I earlier said, if a religion tells you kill your fellow brother, kill your sister, then you should desist from that, because Africa is one. And then we should develop a mechanism to bring other people, the diaspora people, back to Africa. These are exposed, these are very rich people that can develop our nation. I call it a nation because it's not a continent now. We are going to take it. We are happy that we have the bilateral now, the bilateral agreement, trade agreement, that we are going to start expressing trade free across the African nation. And that is the way to go. And I'm happy for that. And then finally, before I conclude, I'm always happy when I hear Judge Blue presenting. He's very good. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It is like I said, a wonder pleasure. I'm so happy that we could do this. This is a sign. Do not worry about the small beginnings. Every powerful thing I know started small, and then they just grew. So what we need to do, Africa Rising Generation, is to know that we just need to grow. In within a week or thereabout, we'll be able to articulate all the discussions of the conference and especially the cap notes you have made today. And then we will republish them to the notice of everyone. And if it is necessary, we'll bring them to a conference like this. Here are a number of suggestions I want you to go home with, which is number one. Let's consider holding this conference twice a year, in June and then in December. You just think about it. In June, we assemble and we review if we have taken any action from the former action steps that we have designed. And then in December, we hold a new one, bringing new ideas, adding more new ideas of what we need to do. This will give us a chance for continuous assessment of where we are at in this project. This is a project I want to devote the rest of my life to do, to support, because I do not want the Africa that my generation is living has on the ground right now to be the Africa you get when you get to my age. I will feel I have failed if that happens. But if what we are doing here today can open the head of and mind and heart of a few young Africans, and then we take it up and do, then I will rest well in my grave and prepare to meet my God, knowing that I have made a contribution to the rising generations of Africa. So, Abdul, George, Chukwudi, and everyone that had come, Buchocho Timfe from Cameroon, Joanne from Uganda also, and Kayode, Solomon, everyone that have been able to make it to this conference today, would like to say, please, thank you for coming. What you have just witnessed is the African Youth Conference 2020 on the theme, the African Leadership Question, Problems and Prospects, a Communique and Action Items drafting session. Viewers, many of you are still there. We don't have enough like for the number of people we are seeing, and we don't have enough comments for the number of people we are seeing. Know that this video will stay on Facebook and YouTube where it is showing live, and you can go back there and leave your comment and your question and contribution to this matter, and I promise you we will take it up from there. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to this conference. It is a pleasure for me to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.